I didn't. Um,
First off, no, I just want to thank for our coaching staff. Like, our coaching staff this year has done a hell of a job. Like I said, JBG having time away, myself having time away, and all these guys, from player development to B. Shaw to BOC, Dante, all these guys held it down until we was able to get right. And so without our coaching staff, like I said, we wouldn't be here today, and a lot of appreciation for them. All right, BT, I'm sorry.
What does it mean to this team, this franchise, to be in the playoffs when the season started? No one knew, but everyone thought, no, Kawhi's out, no PG, new faces. Maybe you are a play-in team, but you're in the playoffs now.
It feels good. It feels good, and I think our group has been playing with a chip on the shoulder all year because of that. And, we just found ways to win. We found ways to win. No matter whose night it was, we kind of just featured that guy, played hard defensively, we competed, and we played together. And so, on nights like this, this is when it really means something because, like you said, you make it to the playoffs, all the hard work you put in throughout the course of the season is huge when it comes down to this point. And so I'm just proud of our guys, like you said, being counted out and staying the course and playing with that chip on your shoulder all year long.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I've seen y'all have to clinch this spot before, and to
say it again.
I've seen y'all have to clinch this kind of game before, go on the road, and to do it again, like that overtime period. Like, when did you know that you had control of this game? Was it not until that Buddy Hield attempt at the end, or how did you feel about how that overtime went?
I thought we was in pretty good shape when James made those 2 threes to start the overtime, and then Draymond hit a big three to cut it to 3, I think, with 2:12, and so we just had to lock in, defensively, and just telling our guys no threes, make them drive to the paint. Zoo's there to clean it up, guarding Gary Payton, and everybody else stay at home and take away the threes. And I thought we did a better job with that going down the stretch.
I asked you before the game about poise. Steph goes and has that fourth quarter to give his team a chance and everything. How did you just kind of reinforce? What were you feeling from the team? I know how you want to project to the team. What were you getting from the team as far as how to control the game, even right down to those last possessions that your team had in regulation?
Yeah, when we got down 12, I just told the guys, stay the course, and we talked about it before the game. We got to take care of the basketball. We can't allow this team to get out in transition, get pick sixes, and get easy baskets in transition. And so we started the game off, like I said, turning the ball over. They was able to capitalize on that. And I just told the guys, listen, if we just settle in, no offensive rebounds, take care of the basketball, we're in good shape, all right? Being down 12 is not a lot for us. If we can just do what we're supposed to do what we're capable of doing. And our guys did that, for the rest of the game. I think we came in and had the lead at halftime by 1, and then just kind of was back and forth game.
Ty, if I was to tell you before the season started, knowing what you knew about how you were going to start, that you would get 50 wins, what would you have said?
I would have said I'll take it. And like I said before, a lot to our coaching staff. Those guys in the locker room, you don't get to see a lot of them. They don't get a lot of credit, but they mean a lot to me. And how I'm able to get to this point, over the years is just, having great assistant coaches, guys behind the scenes, the video guys. All of us play a key part, in getting to this point. But to get 50 wins, with Kawhi playing, 37 games this year, it's a huge accomplishment. And it's a lot for our guys in the locker room. Our players are just staying together, playing with that chip on their shoulder all year long, and getting to this point.
I know Steph did what he does. He does this regularly, but I feel like the job that Kris did was just phenomenal, keeping contact with him the entire time, making just life tough for him. What can you say, even though Steph got his, what can you say about the job that Kris did defensively, just making life incredibly tough on him? Yeah,
we put Kris in a bad position. Me, myself personally, just over the game plan, I thought we could have did a better job of when the 5 enters the ball to try to top lock so he just can't come off, free, because Draymond and Looney are 2 of the best screen setters in the league. And so I thought in the second half we did a better job adjusting, did a little better at trying to get to his body and force him down. But just, letting Steph come off to the ball, that he made us pay tonight. And so we had to adjust that in the second half, and we was a little bit better. But when he gets it going, like you said, He's one of the best in the world, and I've seen it firsthand in the Olympics. I've seen it in the finals. I've seen it, throughout his career. And so when he gets it going, it's hard to stop him. So I'm just glad our guys stuck with it, fought through it, and was able to come up with the win.
Ty, Kawhi has been building towards this all season long. You guys have been patient. I know he's been wanting to play more, but you guys have stayed the course with his development. Just on a personal level, knowing everything that he's been through this year to get to this point, how happy are you for him that he was able to play 47 minutes and perform the way that he did on a night like this?
I'm very happy. Our medical staff did a great job. Maggie Bryant and, Todd Wright, Jason Powell, those guys did a great job of just getting Kawhi to this point where he's healthy, where he's trusted, where he can go out and perform at a high level for 47 minutes. And going 13 for 19 for 33 points, 7 assists, that was huge for us. And so I give the medical staff a lot of credit, just being patient, not let Kawhi skip steps, making sure he checked every box before he came back, and now we're here.
Ty, at least with the media, James is always trying to defer to his teammates how well they play. But tonight, he was really at his best. What do you say about him and what he's done, not just tonight, but all season long?
He's all-star, all season long, being able to carry the load, be able to make guys better, be able to score the basketball. And then tonight, like you said, playing the whole second half again, to bring us home was huge. And he likes to compete. He loves to play. But have 39 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, that just means that, we needed every bit of it to get to this point, and he did it, and he delivered. And he's been doing it all season long. And so, like I said, let's glad we got James on our team. That's it?
Just through that absolute playoff game. It just felt like back and forth. No team was willing to kind of give up there. What was that game just like to be a part of?
A lot of fun, especially the roller coaster ups and downs, going on runs, they go on runs, figuring it out, a couple easy plays, especially for myself. I didn't make, but just staying in the moment, just being focused on trying to make winning plays when it's needed, and being locked in, tied in. I think as a unit, we did a great job of not letting the ups and downs and the runs affect us, and we're able to get the stops we needed and make the plays down the stretch.
This felt like one of those games where in the first 4 quarters, buckets were hard to come by. You, I think, in the first half had that big, buzzer beater. One play like that really can change a game. How hard is it to stay locked in despite the physicality, the misses, all that type of stuff?
I mean, it's tough, you want to go out there and play a perfect game, especially when you know what's on the line. You missed it or made it? You missed it? Damn. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, but you're just trying to stay with it. You go through the ups and downs of the season. It's all about mental fortitude and being able to bounce back and stay in the moment. And I was able to do that and come up with some big plays for us in timely manner.
What does it mean for this group to make the playoffs, considering the way the season started?
Considering how y'all counted us out and said that we was only going to get 30 wins.
My name's Brad, not y'all, just so you know.
You got the media pass on, so it's y'all.
My name's Brad.
Nah, man, it's a testament, to this team, to this organization, the belief that we had in ourselves, and using the critics to count us out. I think we were only favored or whatever to have 35 wins to end up with 50. It's a big landmark, milestone for this season, especially holding down the fort while Kawhi was out, and guys being able to step up and have career years down the line. I think sky's the limit for us in the playoffs. We got some time to rest and lock back in, get our bodies right, our minds right for these 4 games or 7 games against Denver.
You guys as a team were counted out, but you've been open all year as well about you personally and the things that people thought you could do in this increased role. What can you say about the regular season?
It's fun, for me, it's what I expected of myself, given the opportunity. I feel like I could have been doing this, for a long time. If you look back at the times I've got opportunity to play my role and play my game, the production spoke for itself. But taking a lesser role coming here and fitting in and trying to win a championship with a team every single year, you got to sacrifice for the greater good because you want to win. But I didn't expect anything less of me. I prepared for this moment. I've said it all year. I'm just glad that T. Lue and Mark Hughes and Lawrence Frank trusted me and believed in me and allowed me to have this opportunity to go out there and show what I could do.
What was it like watching James and Kawhi kind of go back and forth in the second half, especially?
Yeah, a lot of fun, man. I even said it when Kawhi hit the fading mid-range in that right corner. I mean, it's a tough game with high-level shot making. And that's what it comes down to. You got your stars, Hall of Fame players making big shots on both ends of the floor. It's a lot of fun. This is what we put the work in, and this is what competition's about.
Steph Curry got his, I think it was like 36, 30 or whatever, but
Yeah.
I felt like Kris really did a phenomenal job on him all night.
Yeah, great job. I mean, he was locked in after the sack game, getting his body ready, getting his body right, his mind right. Knowing what he had to do. I mean, Steph is Steph. He's going to make good shots. He's going to make great plays, but not getting discouraged was a big message from the JVG, especially with Kris being locked in on him. And, he made it tough for him. He's going to make shots. He's a hell of a player, one of the greatest shooter of all time. But, for defense, all you want to do is make it hard for him. And Kris did that full 48.
What's it like?
Gave you a shout out, my boy. Come on, Smoke.
What was it like just being on the court with your guys, like in the breaks of games and the timeouts? Like, what did that sound like? Like, can you kind of bring us into
it was good, back and forth. Everybody being coachable, everybody, trying to get it right. Mess up a mistake on the defensive end, coming to the timeout. Being receptive to constructive criticism. And everybody's trying to, pull the rope in the right direction. This is a team game. People are gonna make mistakes, but it's all about lifting that player up. James came to me. I was a little frustrated with how I was playing at that moment, and he came to me and told me none of that matters. I'm a great player, and just continue to stay focused in the moment on to the next play. But that's what teams is. You lift each other up, you cheer each other on, and figure out how to get a win.
Again, we talked about just the job you did on Steph today. He had 8 turnovers. I know he got his 36 points, but just what did it take throughout his shot making, the incredible fourth quarter he had, to keep going and keep making life incredibly tough on him?
Yeah, I think as a group, I thought we did a good job. First half, we kept him, quiet a little bit, and then, we knew second half he was going to come out being aggressive. He made big time plays, but as a group, we just kept on fighting.
Kris, what does it mean to have poise as a defender? Not just when you go into games, but as you mentioned, Steph getting hot like that, to continue that poise throughout the tough moments.
Yeah, you just have to. These players are too great in this league. Steph and others. You just gotta have to keep fighting mentality. Keep trying to make it tough on them.
Yeah, I think so.
Just make plays.
One of the things
We all talked about it. Chuck and Shaq.
to stick with it. You went through points of the season where you weren't shooting the ball well, but lately you have been. Tonight you made some big threes. Just how big has it been to have guys like James, guys like Kawhi continue to be so that believe in you guys?
Yeah, as a group, I think that's been us all year. We had a lot of ups and downs as a group, but we stayed resilient. We kept on fighting. And one thing about this team, we're gonna put the work in, and we believe. Each and every individual believe when they check in, and then we got a good group. From coaching staff to the team to the front office, we all believe, and we just got to keep on fighting.
Kris, if you told you that this team would win 50 games at the start of the year, what would you say?
We can do it. That's the goal. We're not going to undersell ourselves.
When you look ahead to Denver now, I know you guys got a big win, want to celebrate this, but it's also a pretty good, big matchup there with Nicola and Jamal. How do you kind of foresee that matchup going? What are some big points you're looking at with that team?
To be honest, I really don't know yet. We're going, as the coaching staff and as a team, we're going to go over the breakdown of everything. But we just got to be us. When we play our basketball, good things happen.
How do you feel? Just you're on a playoff team. I know you've been on a playoff team before, but you contributed to this team greater than those previous teams. How's it feel to get back there? And how does it feel when you look back at the season that it took for you to get back there?
Yeah, the funny thing is, I don't think too many people know my story, but when I was in Atlanta, I didn't play the whole year. I was injured the whole year. They went to the Eastern Conference Final. We had a really great group. This is my first go around. I'm super excited. This is big for me and my family, and I'm happy to be having this opportunity with this team.
That's been the biggest. Cool.
Well, you've been a part of some pretty significant games in your career. Some pretty significant games in your career.
Right.
Where does that one kind of stack up as far as the intensity, what was on the line and everything?
It was a great one. Just wanted to put us in the playoffs. I think I went through this before in 2015. Something like a little similar. We won 55 games and we went to the 6th seed. But the last game, if we'd have won, we went to, I think, the 2nd seed or 3rd seed. So a little similarities right there. And, tonight I was able to get the win. Last one I lost, so I'm happy.
You guys were down 12 in that second quarter. What allowed y'all to kind of get control, or not even get control, but get back into the game to give yourself a chance in that second half?
We start getting our spacing right. Golden State did a great job defensively, crowding the paint and, making us get turnovers. And we were able to stop that and get some looks at the rim.
The fact that you're able to get to this point after last year, like now that you're in it, like how does it feel to have that accomplishment of being, getting your team into the playoffs this year?
It's great. Now you got to stay the course and be able to feel how I'm feeling now and try to keep that moving. Like I said, I want to have a healthy offseason, and that's what I'm striving for.
One of the things that Todd talked about was just on a personal level, how happy he was for you knowing that you have been patient enough to trust the process with your rehab and coming back to have a game like tonight where you play 47 minutes and compete the way that you did. Just how good did that feel knowing what this process has been like?
It felt good. I'm happy that I had a great organization behind me to allow me to, get healthy and know exactly what I needed to do. Them letting me reach out to, outside sources and, combining together and collabing. And like I said, it's not over yet. We still got playoff series to try to win, and just want to keep going from there, like I said, and just, have a good playoffs, have a healthy offseason, and just keep going.
What does it mean for this group to be in the playoffs? Considering a few people thought this could happen. Powell's scoring, you're out for a while. I guess he's out because he's dealing with his health.
I never thought of it that way, but I'm happy that we're in it. The last 3 weeks, I felt like we've been in a playoff mindset or environment, and we had to really win every game to get to this point. I don't know what our record was, but I think we lost 2 games in the last 3 weeks or something like that. And I'm happy and proud that we were able to fight and, get into the playoffs without the play.
Well, when you look at this team, if I told you that you guys got 50 wins at the start of the year, what would you have said?
Me personally, I have confidence in us. You know what I mean? I didn't come into the year saying that we're not making the playoffs or this group isn't good enough to get in the playoffs. So, and then number one, the coaching staff and front office had the confidence early, and whenever they trust something, we all got to trust and believe. So, when we're healthy, I think we're a pretty good team.
Steph had his 36 points, 38 points, but he also had 8 turnovers. I think Kris did a pretty phenomenal job on him. What can you say about just the job that he did today?
What did he do? What did Steph do?
I think he had like 36 or 38 points, but he also had 8 turnovers, 8 of their 15 turnovers. Just what can you say about the job that Kris did?
Kris been great all year. I for sure think he should be on the all-defensive team. Night in, night out, he's guarding the best players and slowing them down, and you know what I mean. And some nights they make shots, but he's doing it. I'll be surprised if he's not on one. Maybe he don't play enough minutes, or
He actually didn't qualify.
Oh, why not?
Not enough minutes.
Oh,
Not enough 20-minute games.
20 minutes.
I think he's like 55 games of 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a little short of that.
That sucks. But I guess, like I said, he's been great all year. He's going to only get better. And, I like having him on the team.
How impressed were you by James, especially in the overtime when the guys needed someone to step into that void?
That's who he is. He's been doing it all year, his whole career. And tonight he did it again. And, just got to watch him play. Definitely a motivation for everybody on our team and, people that's watching.
Your ability to make big plays defensively, I think the last Warriors possession of regulation, I think you got the steal where Steph was trying to make a play. Like, what were you trying to see on that play? Like, how do you feel like you progressed your games defensively?
How did I progress to the game defensively? I thought I played pretty well all game. At that point, I think he got trapped or got baseline, so, and just trying to see where the ball is and use my instincts and get it still.
You guys still had a lot of preparation ahead of you for Denver, but what are your early thoughts on that matchup in that series?
Just enjoying this win tonight. And we got.
We're able to get 17 rebounds. The Warriors as a team only had 25. The fact you're able to guys dominate on the glass like that.
It was big. First 3 matches against them, when we played them, I think they out-rebounded us. They had a lot of second-chance shots and everything. So that was a big point of emphasis, just control the rebounds and both ways. So I think it was a big part of the win.
So you played more than 40 minutes. You didn't have a single foul. Like, how have you been able? And there's been games where you play high minutes, you're rarely in foul trouble. How have you been able to play your role defensively for this team without, ever being a problem as far as drawing people or getting in foul trouble?
I think just with experience and timing, I think it's very important to read the game, kind of have a feel of what's going to happen. A bunch of things around, saying stuff, so kind of you can see it happening before it happens. So just being in a good position to start with and time it up right, I think it's a big part of it.
So what does it mean for this group to make the playoffs? Is it significant for you guys?
Yeah, but we want to, go a little further. So that's not our goal. Was obviously to make the playoffs, but we're not happy or whatever. We're happy we got in without being in the play-in, but it's been ever since everyone doubted us, and it feels good to prove everyone wrong. There was people giving to saying we're going to win 30 games, 35, whatever. To win a 50 games until we get in the play, and it feels good, but we got some more work to do.
Zoo, if I was to tell you guys would win 50 games at the start of the year, knowing that Kawhi would miss some time, Norm would miss some time, what would you have said?
Okay, we expected it. We expected to have a good year. We knew what we had in our locker room. We knew pieces that we added are gonna, they're big-time players. They make the right plays, play the right way, they play hard, they defend, smart players, and we knew what we had. So we always believed in ourselves and stayed the course until Kawhi came back, and when he came back, we took off.
I know that Kris, Steph had his 36 points, but he also had 8 turnovers, and it felt like Kris really made him work for every single shot that he made and attempted today. What was it like to just be out there and watch him just hound Steph all night?
Incredible. He's one of the best defenders in the league for sure. And him getting all that. It's hard to screen him. He gets all over those picks. Can't really make a separation with a screen when KD's on the ball. So he got an amazing feeling and timing for the steals, and he made a lot of big time offensive plays, a lot of big time shots. And at the end of the game, he that small pick and roll, he was doing really good in a pocket in that short roll, hitting floaters, kicking the ball out, found me for a lob. So he played incredible today.
One of the last times we were in Denver, you talked about the chess match of facing Jokic and how exciting that can be, challenging that can be, but just that battle. 5 years ago when you guys faced him, you didn't get as many opportunities to match up against him, but now you will. Just how exciting is that? Just what are your thoughts on that matchup?
It's gonna be tough. He's incredible, best player in the league for sure, and it's gonna be tough. He got so much stuff offensively. You got to mix in a lot of different coverages. It's going to be tough for sure, but I think we have our advantages, and I'm sure our coaching staff is going to prepare us to be locked in from game one.
What was it like watching James and Kawhi kind of go shot for shot in the fourth and overtime?
Fun. James hitting those threes. The second one he hit over Jimmy. I felt like it was in the air for like 5 seconds. But it was fun, man. Big time players. One of the best players in the league, both of them, and they did their thing, man. They closed the game. They hit big shot after big shot, and going to the war with them. A game like this, high stakes. I feel pretty confident.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay.